These are my structural engineering focus sequence slides. The first off, we will be starting with civil engineering. This is the first focus sequence. This focus sequence basically infers that the structural design and safety calculation, as well as site analysis, like understanding of the soil, they as well determine what material will be most effective as well as most cost effective. The reason why they are needed is because civil engineers spend a long time on their projects, and without this focus sequence, then we have a risk of structure failures, unsafe structure, as well as unsafe structures. This focus sequence mostly focuses on the safety of the structure. As you can see right here is our factors of safety. A commonly asked questions of these engineers are basically which materials can reduce the cost while as well maintaining the strength of the structure. Some common problems that civil engineers will constantly come into contact with is unstable soil. They basically have to work around it and find different solutions. Some projects that these engineers will encounter is that they design earthquake resistant buildings, as you can see right here, as well as earthquakes are very common in California, so these are buildings that are built all the time. Some possible careers are construction manager, civil engineer researcher, material engineer, and etc. There are many different ones. Our second focus sequence is geotechnical engineers. Geotechnical engineers basically focus on is a sequence where people assess the property of the materials and it basically interacts with the structure. This ensures that the ground conditions are suitable for construction as well as helps prevent any failure of the structure. These engineers as well as do landslide investigation as well as soil testing and basically do the construction monitoring. The reason why they are needed so much is because soil and rock change, and we need to know if the structure may be able to be built and have a stable ground without having any risk of failure. Some questions that they are commonly asked are which types which types of rock is more harmful to the structure during an earthquake. Some common problems that they face is oil erosion, which you can see right here in these pictures, some examples of oil erosion. And this causes for there to be a risk of the structure's stability. Some projects that they endorse are the design and foundation of skyscrapers to ensure that they are being built on geotechnical engineers um, to ensure that they are being built on safe soil. Some possible career paths for geotechnical engineers are foundation engineers, slope stability, landslide specialists, earthquake engineers, and many more. The third focus sequence is aerospace engineers. Aerospace engineers typically ensure the aircrafts are safe and reliable under extreme conditions. They usually do the material selection as well as do prototype testing. The reason why aerospace structural engineers are needed is that we don't want an aircraft and spacecraft to fail because that can lead to many different consequences. By having an aerospace engineer, they just ensure that their design will work and ensure the safety and the performance criteria is met. Some commonly asked questions is which type of material performs best under high temperature environments. A problem that they seem to face with is how the structure becomes more fragile as the aircraft ages. Aerospace engineers are known for developing certain projects such as jets as well as light satellites and etc. Some possible careers for aerospace engineers are spacecraft designers, aerodynamic engineers, aerospace manufacturing engineers, and many more. Our fourth focus sequence is structural health monitoring engineers. Structural health monitoring engineers basically are people that detect and assess and predict the health and integrity of a structure over time. They basically ensure that there is no potential failure that will come from these structures. The reason why these engineers are so important and are needed is because over time there are different materials aging as well as certain environmental factors that may change and certain loads that may change as well that will cause a structure to need fixes as well as mon- because as well as the structure monitoring provides us the maintenance and helps reduce the risk of having a failure of the structure because they are able to repair them. Some commonly asked questions is how do structural health monitoring improve the safety of aging of the structure, such as bridges? Some common problems that they have is at times they may come out with false positives due to the sensors that they are using right here, and they may encounter this in the field. Some things that they may encounter, some projects are um, basically health of the wind turbines under harsh environments. Some possible career paths are aerospace, SA, structural health monitoring engineers, structural health monitoring data analysis, construction monitoring engineers, and many more. The focus sequence that I prefer the most is civil engineers. The reason why I prefer civil engineers is because they mostly focus on the factor of safety of the building, and that is something that I think is has always interested me the most, especially because for me, I like to do understand what causes factor of safety, such as the load, what certain materials we will have to use to make ensure that the structure and safe is safe and reliable, as well as determining different types of environmental loads and all that stuff. And that is the end of my slides.